Rachel. I work in the Center for Academic Success at Bethel University, and I want to tell you a little bit about the academic services and resources we have available for your students. We cover 4 main areas, which include tutoring, study skills tutoring, the Writing Center, as well as academic accommodations. And so we're going to briefly touch on each of those 4 main things that we do. First of all, tutoring. We have a tutor available for every general education required course, as well as many major specific courses. All the tutoring takes place in the Learning Commons right next to our office, and our tutors can tutor in more than 150 different classes if you put them together. So your student can access the tutoring schedule to make an appointment with a tutor either from Canvas, which is where they turn in their assignments, or from My Bethel, our internal website. And they could either look at this schedule and try to figure out who to go to, or, like the rest of us, we live in an age of filtering, they can click this drop-down box to filter by a course and see only the tutors for that course. And then when it appears, they just select either the study skill or the specific class. And in this case, we have filtered by Chemistry 163, Gen Chem 1, and we would just click on an open white box to make the appointment. Okay. We also have some group tutoring sessions. I know sometimes freshmen are really anxious about going to tutoring because they don't think they'll have anything to talk about. And our tutors are well trained to know how to carry that conversation, but sometimes a group session is a good place to start. And if you have a student who's in anything like nursing or engineering or chemistry as a major, please encourage them to come to those freshman group sessions and get a really solid foundation for those STEM majors. New this fall, in fall 24, we have study skills tutors, and I'm really excited about this. It's kind of a combination of a couple previous programs. Study skills tutors are tutors who tutor in a specific discipline plus. They have specialized training to know how to work with students to teach them how to take better notes, or notes at all, how to study smarter, not longer, not harder, how to schedule their study time, how to read less and remember more, memory tips, test taking tips, all of that. So it was just like we saw on the previous screen, like scheduling with a tutor, but when you filter by the class, all of the study skills are at the very top before it starts going into the course list. So encourage your students to do that. They can go to different tutors and learn different things from different people that will help them across the board in all of their classes. All right, number 3 is the Writing Center. There's 3 ways to get help, writing help. So first of all, your student can use the TA assigned to their English course. What if they're not in an English course? Or what if they don't really vibe with that person who's the TA? Well, then they can go to drop-in hours here at the Writing Center, which are basically essentially 3 to 10 p.m. most days. Or alternatively, if they don't want to go to drop-in hours, they can make a tutoring appointment with a tutor who is also trained to do writing. So again, just like the previous screen, there are some tutors who have training not only in their specific discipline, but also in writing. So they can do that as well. Using the Writing Center is a great way for a student to avoid the suspicion of having used AI. Our tutors and writing coaches fill out client report forms and send them to the professor, and the professors love to see when students are using their resources, so encourage them to do that. Let's delve into academic accommodations with disability services. The most common disabilities we have at Bethel are the invisible ones like ADHD or dyslexia. And the most common accommodations we see are things like extended testing time, a distraction-reduced environment, but there are many, many other options, all depending on the student's disability and how it impacts them and what their needs are. If you suspect a disability and your student has never been tested, they don't have a diagnosis, please encourage them to connect with our office as soon as possible. We have the ability to screen them and see if further testing is warranted, and if it is, then we can refer them to local low-cost options. And if it's not, sometimes knowing that, oh, you know, I'm below the threshold or the baseline for that can be reassuring and comforting as well. And then just in summary, the Center for Academic Success is located in this building, the Miller Moore Academic Center, in the lower level. And please encourage your students to visit us for help with anything academic, whether it's help scheduling a tutoring appointment or meeting with someone about accommodations or recovering after a lapse in a study routine, or just talking through the pros and cons of declaring this major versus that major, or adding a minor, or study abroad, testing out of a course, all of those things. We are here to help your student. So the next time your student tells you, Mom, there's no resources, there's no one to help me. Now, we all know as parents sometimes that our kids can omit certain details, or sometimes they just weren't listening and weren't paying attention when we told them about things. So now you as the parents have the knowledge and have the power so that you can tell them what their options are. So please send them our way. We're here to help.